Okay, let's talk budgeting. Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. Today, we are gonna be talking about budgeting, and I am no expert, but we are here to learn, right? Like I said in my first video, this channel is going to be me as the experiment. I can't just sit here and be like, yeah, I know how to budget, because I don't. It's better to start now than never, right? On my other YouTube channel, on my latest vlog, I sat down and I wrote down my income, what I spend on utilities. So you're probably wondering, like, okay, why'd you make this video if you already made a budget? Well, I actually wanted to sit down and tell you guys just where all my money goes and where I will be subtracting and my plan, because we have to have a plan in order to succeed. Let's get started. I did say in my last video that the next video would be me laying out all the debt that I have, but unfortunately I still haven't received all of my debt. I know I still have a couple medical bills coming, so once I have all that gathered, I will for sure film that video as soon as possible. But we want to keep the consistency going, so we're gonna film this video. Okay, so why don't we get started to the things that I personally pay for every single month. Now, I mentioned that I'm married, so Anthony does pay for other things, but this is just strictly from my paychecks. First is my monthly car payment. I will be doing a video on my experience of getting a $32,000 car at age 17 and how it's impacted me, good or bad, but the minimum payment for that is a whopping $450, baby. We'll get more into that when I make a separate video on that. Next is my phone bills. So gosh, phone bills are so expensive. I paid off my iPhone 8 in March of 2020 and I still pay about $80 a month for my services. If any of you have tips with your phone, let me know. Next is our internet, which we pay $60 a month for. I think that's a pretty good deal because we don't get a lot of options where we live. So when they offered that, I was like, yes, for sure. Next, I set up a payment plan for one of my medical bills. I'll get into more in depth when I talk about my debt overall, but I did pay a lot of medical bills off completely, so I didn't want to start stripping away at our savings for our medical bills. I just would rather budget and pay them off in a few months. So that is a total of $128 a month. Next is another medical bill. This one is $79 per month, so that is also subtracted from my account. Next is medical insurance, which I have a hate-love relationship with, and that is $260 just for me. Next is our electric bill, which is $80. Things like electric and gas vary every month for us, but that's just about the average. Next is gas, and that is $100 a month. Like I said, it varies, but especially since I cut down on DoorDash, we've been cooking at home a lot more often, which is much healthier for you. So I'm okay with that increase. Next is gas for my car, and I drive a Honda Accord, so it is really good with gas mileage. I spend about $30 a week on gas. It fills up my tank for a week, and that times 4 is $120 a month. Next one I can definitely cut back on, but this is subscriptions, things like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, food services. We have been using HelloFresh for over a year now, which is not something I'm willing to give up, and I can go into details in a different video, but basically we do save a lot of money and a lot of food when we do that because it's portioned out. So I guess I should explain something. So I have my own account, and then Anthony and I have our own together. The reason that is because my car loan is through my bank account, so I didn't want to go through the process of changing banks just because of that, so we decided to keep my separate bank account. So with HelloFresh, that is deducted from our account, so I'm not counting that in here because it's not something that is deducted from my paycheck per se. But with that being said, we do have Hulu, Amazon Prime, and then Peacock, which is $4.99. We do pay a little bit more for Hulu, which I have been thinking about canceling because we honestly do not watch Hulu that often. Next are groceries. Aside from HelloFresh, we get HelloFresh every single week, 3 meals a week, so we have flexibility if we want to cook something else. But the reason why I put $200 down extra a month for groceries is because we do still buy things like creamer for our coffee, drinks, alcohol, and everything in between. I do believe that is not that much considering we are 2 grown adults who work. And lastly, we have entertainment, going out to restaurants and just like going getting a coffee and things like that. I wrote down a budget for $100 a month for me, and I know that seems excessive, but if you really think about it, I used to get coffees like 2-3 times a week, so if you add that up, it's $15 times 4 That's $60 a month, and that does not include even like going out. I'm predicting that is going to be cut completely because ever since like January, I haven't really been going out and getting coffee. I've been making coffee at home and buying coffee from the store. So I'm predicting that's going to be really cut. And with that, I do have a good chunk of money left to save. I'm not going to say how much I actually have left that I could put into my savings or pay off debt, because that would give away how much I make a month, which is not an extravagant amount, but it would definitely make an effect on us if I were to quit my job. I know my husband and I share our income technically, but we do still have like a set plan. You pay for that, I pay for this. Of course, everything has to do with him as well. Okay, so now that I laid out everything for you guys, I'm gonna talk about my plan to achieve this budget and basically like my self-discipline, because we all know that that is the main factor in budgeting. It is self-control and actually sticking to it. Okay, so it's been about 4 or 5 days since I set this budget, and honestly, I think right now I'm going through the I have motivation phase where I'm like, you got this, you're doing so well, and I am. I honestly have been wanting to do a budget for a long time now, so I feel like now that I actually started, it's actually good for me. But we all know that's the first phase. The second phase is like, okay, but I can spend $5 here. It's not even that much money. And then you go and spend 5, and then another 5, and then it's 10, and then 15, and then 20, and before you know it, that could have went to almost a monthly payment for your medical bills or something like that. So my plan to stick to my budget is, number 1, I no longer am ordering DoorDash. Now, I'm just going to briefly go on DoorDash right now and tell you how much money I spent on DoorDash in 1 month. Okay, this is quite embarrassing, but in the month of December, Anthony and I spent about $250 on DoorDash. Wow, that is basically a payment for my health insurance. Like, that is absolutely not okay. So there's an example. If I cut out that completely, with the exception of once or twice, I could save $200 and put that towards something that will actually help me out. I'm not gonna lie, I did order DoorDash in January, but nowhere near to what I did in the previous month, and I actually haven't ordered DoorDash in a week. So once I made this budget, I have not ordered DoorDash yet. Next is quitting my Amazon random purchases. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Things like this, and things like this, and things like this. These are things that, like, yes, I could definitely use, and I do use my bucket hat a lot, and I use my highlighters a lot, but they're not necessities. They're not medical bills. They're not medical insurance. I need to be warm right now. I need to be fed right now. Like, those are serious things that every human needs, not hair curlers. I did purchase some clothes on Amazon recently, probably like ends of December, and they haven't come yet. So that is the last time I purchased any clothes or any little thing from Amazon, so that should cut back a lot of money. That should be going elsewhere. Next is iced coffee and getting bagels on the way to work. I religiously, instead of getting coffee, I would get a bite to eat on the way to work. We have this place that makes really good bagel sandwiches, and I'm a nanny to 4 kids, so sometimes it's really hard for me to take the time and eat breakfast. So I would just go through the drive-thru and pick up a bagel, and I'm good. It's kind of find extra time at work to nibble here and there. I kid you not, I would get a bagel at least 4 times a week. It would be about $6 to $7 a day each time, so that should save me about $100 or so every month. Guys, when I'm actually vocalizing this, it's quite embarrassing, and like I said, we don't struggle with money, but I just realized how much money I could be saving and how fast I truly can pay things off. That's why I'm making this video, because once you actually lay it all out, you'll realize that a lot of these things that you're spending money on, like me, really need. I think basically that's where my money goes. I'm gonna try to set myself up for success and take a snack with me so that I eat that and I don't even think about it. So there you guys go. That is my budget. Like I said, I am allowing myself some money every month to get a nice coffee here and there. But I feel like even if I cut back on this, even half, I could totally pay things off so much faster. Before I went into the hospital in November, I was going at a really good steady pace with trying to pay my car off. You know, life life gets thrown at you. I had no idea this was gonna happen to me like everybody else, but when this was thrown at me, I just realized that I just need to get myself back up and set a plan and set myself up for success. Not just say I'm gonna quit getting a quick bite to eat before work, but actually packing something. I would love to see if any of you are doing that. So yeah, stay tuned to my next videos. Like this video if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.